of 166 bodies and 61 body parts were performed and 75 were handed over to relatives. Many are still feared to be trapped under the debris, and several injured, of course, were taken to Vim's hospital in Mepadi. Imagine that two of the areas in Wayanad have gone forever. It's as if they've fallen off the map. Now, in the midst of such a huge disaster, politics has begun, as always, between Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Amit Shah claimed that the state government did not heed the centre's warning regarding a possible natural calamity in Wayanad due to heavy rains. Vijayan hit back while adding that blame games were unnecessary at this juncture and said that the IMD had only issued an orange alert in the district ahead of this landslide. However, the district received over 572 mm of rainfall, which according to Vijayan was extremely high than what was predicted by the IMD. Pinarayi further said that from July 23 to 29, the Central Water Commission, which is responsible for issuing flood warnings, did not issue any warnings for either Iruvajinjipura or Chaliya rivers flowing through the affected areas. Now, listen into what both of them said, that is Amit Shah as well as Pinarayi Vijayan, and I come back to this debate.
मैं सदन के सामने स्पष्टता करना चाहता हूं, 23 जुलाई को केरल सरकार को अर्ली वार्निंग भारत सरकार की ओर से दी गई थी। 23 जुलाई को 7 दिन पहले, फिर 24 को गई, फिर 25 को गई, 26 तारीख को मान्यवर ये कहा गया कि 20 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा वर्षा होगी, भारी वर्षा होगी, लैंडस्लाइड होने की संभावना है, मड भी रस होकर आ सकता है और लोग इसके अंदर दबकर मर भी सकते हैं। मैं कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता था मान्यवर, मगर भारत सरकार की अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम पर सवाल किए गए, इसलिए मैं कहता हूं प्लीज लिसन अस, मत चिल्लाइए, प्लीज रीड इट। जो वार्निंग भेजा है उसको पढ़िए जरा। और इस देश में कई राज्य सरकारें ऐसी हैं जिन्होंने इस प्रकार की वार्निंग का उपयोग कर कर जीरो कैजुअलिटी डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट किया है। मैं ओडिशा राज्य सरकार के लिए भी, उस वक्त हमारी नहीं थी, नवीन बाबू की थी, हमने 7 दिन पहले साइक्लोन का अलर्ट भेजा, सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति मारा गया, वो भी गलती से मारा गया। गुजरात सरकार को हमने साइक्लोन का अलर्ट 3 दिन पहले भेजा, एक पशु भी नहीं मरा सर। मगर मैं बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ कहना चाहता हूं कि आप जो घिसे पिटे शब्द यहां लेकर आए हैं और डिमांड ही करते जा रहे हैं, अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम है। भारत सरकार ने 14 के बाद अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम के लिए 2000 करोड़ रुपया खर्च किया है और इसको साझा किया जाता है मान्यवर। 7 दिन पहले हर राज्य को सूचना भेजी जाती है और वो सूचना साइट पर सबके लिए भी उपलब्ध है, मान्य सांसदों के लिए भी उपलब्ध है। मगर कुछ लोगों को है कि यहाँ की साइटें खोलते ही नहीं है, विदेश की ही खोलते हैं। तो अब विदेश में तो इसकी अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम आएगी नहीं, हमारी साइट देखनी पड़ेगी मान्यवर।
കേന്ദ്ര ആഭ്യന്തരമന്ത്രി ഇങ്ങനെയൊരു മുന്നറിയിപ്പ് നൽകിയിരുന്നു, എന്നിട്ട് കേരളം എന്താണ് ചെയ്തത് എന്നൊരു ചോദ്യമാണ് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇവിടെ വസ്തുതകളെല്ലാം എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്നതാണല്ലോ, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും. നിങ്ങളുടെ കയ്യിൽ തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ റെക്കോർഡുകൾ ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ, അതെടുത്ത് പരിശോധിച്ചാൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുമല്ലോ. ദുരന്തമുണ്ടായ പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ ഓറഞ്ച് അലർട്ടാണ് ആ ഘട്ടത്തിൽ നിലനിന്നിരുന്നത്. അവിടെ 115-നും 204 മില്ലിമീറ്ററിനും ഇടയിൽ മഴ പെയ്യും എന്നായിരുന്നു കേന്ദ്ര കാലാവസ്ഥാ കേന്ദ്രത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നറിയിപ്പ്. ഇന്നലെ ഞാൻ അതിലൊരു ഭാഗം പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. എന്നാൽ എത്ര മഴയാണ് പെയ്തത്? ആദ്യത്തെ 24 മണിക്കൂറിനുള്ളിൽ 200 മില്ലിമീറ്റർ, അടുത്ത 24 മണിക്കൂറിനുള്ളിൽ 372 മില്ലിമീറ്റർ മഴ. ഇതാണ് ഈ പ്രദേശത്ത് പെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ 48 മണിക്കൂറിനുള്ളിൽ 572 മില്ലിമീറ്റർ മഴയാണ് പെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ മുന്നറിയിപ്പ് നൽകിയതിലും എത്രയോ അധികമായിരുന്നു അത്. ദുരന്തം ഉണ്ടാകുന്നതിന് മുൻപ് പ്രത്യേകം ശ്രദ്ധിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യം, ഒരു തവണ പോലും ആ പ്രദേശത്ത് റെഡ് അലേർട്ട് നൽകിയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അപകടം ഉണ്ടായതിനു ശേഷം രാവിലെ 6 മണിയോടുകൂടിയാണ് റെഡ് അലേർട്ട് ഈ പ്രദേശത്ത് മുന്നറിയിപ്പായി നൽകുന്നത്. ഇതോടൊപ്പം കാണേണ്ട മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം, ജിയോളജിക്കൽ സർവേ ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ വയനാട്ടിൽ ലാൻഡ്സ്ലൈഡ് വാർണിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിനായി ഒരു സംവിധാനം സ്ഥാപിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അവർ 29-ന് നൽകിയ മുന്നറിയിപ്പുണ്ട്. ആ മുന്നറിയിപ്പിൽ സാധാരണ കാണേണ്ടത് 4 തരം മുന്നറിയിപ്പുണ്ട്. ഇതാണ് അവരുടെ ആ അറിയിപ്പിൻ്റെ ഒരു ചിത്രം. അത് ഞാൻ പിന്നീട് പറയാം. ഈ സ്ഥാപനം കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ ഉടമസ്ഥയിലുള്ളതാണ്. ജൂലൈ 23 മുതൽ 28 വരെ ഓരോ ദിവസവും കേന്ദ്ര കാലാവസ്ഥാ വകുപ്പ് കേരളത്തിന് നൽകിയ മഴ മുന്നറിയിപ്പ് പരിശോധിച്ചാൽ അതിലൊരു ദിവസം പോലെ അതിശക്തമായ മഴ സാധ്യതയായ ഓറഞ്ച് അലർട്ട് പോലും നൽകിയിട്ടില്ല. ഇതാണ് വസ്തുത.
So you see how this political slugfest is now snowballed? Meanwhile, Pinarayi Vijayan was in landslide hit Wayanad today to take stock of this situation. Let's listen in to what he said latest on the disaster.
പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവും പ്രതിപക്ഷ ഉപനേതാവും പങ്കെടുത്തിരുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായ ദുരന്തത്തിൽ എല്ലാവരും ഒരേ മനസ്സോടെയാണ് പ്രതികരിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിൻ്റെ ഗൗരവം പൂർണ്ണമായി ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് നടന്ന ഏകോപിതമായ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളെ അതേ രീതിയിൽ തന്നെ വിലയിരുത്തി തുടർ പ്രവർത്തനം ഏകോപിതമായി നടത്താനാണ് നിശ്ചയിച്ചത്. ഇപ്പോൾ നാം കൂടുതൽ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചത് ഈ ദുരന്തത്തിനിരയായി അവിടെ കഴിയുന്ന ആളുകളിൽ ഒറ്റപ്പെട്ടുപോയ ആളുകളെ രക്ഷിച്ചെടുക്കാനായിരുന്നു. അതിലെല്ലാവരും നല്ല സേവനം നടത്തിയെങ്കിലും ഏറ്റവും മികവാർന്ന പ്രവർത്തനം പട്ടാളത്തിൻ്റെതായിരുന്നു. അതിന് നേതൃത്വം കൊടുത്ത പട്ടാള മേധാവി ഈ യോഗത്തിൽ അറിയിച്ചത് എല്ലാവരെയും രക്ഷിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന എല്ലാവരെയും രക്ഷിച്ചെടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇനി ആരും അവിടെ ബാക്കിയില്ല എന്നുള്ള ഒരു വിവരമാണ് അദ്ദേഹം റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്.
Meanwhile, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi arrived in Kannur airport along with Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. The two are all set to meet with the victims who are now staying in the relief camps and also visit hospitals where the injured have been admitted. Both leaders are expected to visit relief camps at the Government Higher Secondary School and St. Joseph UP School in Mepadi and then visit Dr. Mupen's Medical College also in Mepadi. Meanwhile, the administration has initiated measures to shift more families from the landslide-prone upland area of Kozhikode district in Kerala. You know what? Maybe the nation has woken up to Wayanad suddenly. And this after several deaths and missing people and villages which have actually fallen off the map. But will the politicians stand up for once to hang their heads in shame? For they looked the other way when nature gave them enough reasons and warning reasons. Let's talk about it. Sridhar Radhakrishnan, environmentalist and climate policy observer, is with us, and also C.R. Neelakandan, who's an environmental activist from Kerala. Both of them have joined us. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on this broadcast. Let's start with what is very vital to landslides or natural disasters like this, and that being early warnings, early reactions. Now the thing is that Wayanad district administration, which used to always take pride in effective warning. Before that, now this community-based rain monitoring system facing flack for not doing due diligence. Sridhar Radhakrishnan, you please go here, and also even this is all this political slugfest. Did you tell? No, I did not. No, there was an orange alert, red alert, etc. The point is, many lives are lost, and maybe early evacuation would have solved some of the problems, Sridhar.
Okay. Now that is a whole lot of questions. See, I will take it one by one.
Please.
The first point is that if I have to reflect on what the central government represented by Amit Shah said the other day on early warning, it is just not correct. Why? Because that kind of generic early warning that they had claimed to give, and which the Chief Minister of Kerala had already said that it was not red and it was yellow. It was orange. My point is not that. My point is that such forecasting that and warnings that the central government gives based on whatever data, largely IMD data, but whatever, cannot predict a landslide. It can probably predict large rains. You can talk about flooding perhaps, but not a landslide. And this doesn't come from me. It comes from experts that I have talked to. And these are experts who have studied the landslide situation in Kerala. Now, how do we predict a landslide? Now, interestingly, we all know that the Wayanad organization, Hume Center for Biology and Ecology and Wildlife Biology, had done the prediction, and in fact they have gone ahead and even today said that there are possibilities of another 5-6 places possibly having susceptible to landslides. So immediate care is being taken. The problem is that such predictions can happen only with a lot of local data, grassroots data, community-based data being collected. Now, do we have a system for? The point I'm trying to drive is that do we have a system nationally or in the state where such local data can be collected? I'll give you an example. In Wayanad, and Dr. Vishnu Das actually claims that in Wayanad, the data that they are based on is from 200 community-sourced rainwater measurement, rain gauge systems, which means that so much data comes into their system, it gets churned there, and then the prediction comes out, or the forecast comes out.
Right.
Now that is going to be much more, perfect, much more possible potential than probably a broad data that the central government gives out.
Okay.
So let's not have slugfest on that kind of things. It's a lot of details. The second point that I would like to say is regarding your question, regarding your question of the early warning system. Let me also tell that perhaps the early warning system that Kerala has or does not have is a major issue.
All right.
Because
sir, I'll come back to you. Sridhar, let me also go to Mr. Neelakandan. Let him make some opening remarks, and then we can discuss this, in detail. Mr. Neelakandan, welcome to the show, sir. Mr. Neelakandan, now Sridhar spoke about how this is impossible, that is warning signals, unless you have what is called localized kind of information. Now, apparently, Mepadi Panchayat leader, President K. Babu, he had actually, warned or forewarned. And apart from that, there were no other voices which really were concerned, and mainly to evacuate people to safe spots, sir. So, do you think that the local administration or local people, authorities, call it what you may, did not act swiftly?
Actually, our whole system has got a sluggish attitude towards such incidents. I'll tell you one more thing. Because we are facing very heavy climate crisis, we all know. Heavy rains are possible in any place, especially in Kerala, because of the condition of Arabian Sea, and because we have never heard a depression in Arabian Sea before 10 years.
Right.
Now we are seeing every day depression in Arabian Sea. So any depression in Arabian Sea will lead to heavy rains in Kerala mainly because of Western Ghats. So we know it, the reality. My question is whether Kerala, the Western Ghats in Kerala can take that much rain without any disaster. Is there any study, the vulnerability of Western Ghats or disaster possibility?
No, there has been Professor, Gadgil, and also.
I know. What I'm saying is, my point is, we don't have Gadgil study. Everybody has rejected. So I don't bother about Gadgil study now because Gadgil had done around 12 years back. So now it is in last 7 years, as you are showing, the possibility of landslides had increased exponentially in Kerala. Exponentially. Right. So whether we have conducted any study, maybe you can use Gadgil's data or any, even Gadgil used pre-data. The studies done earlier by many people like CES and many CDS and many people. So Gadgil didn't do any study. He consolidated the data regarding the vulnerability of
right. Okay. You talk about that, and I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Neelakandan. Let me go to now Sridhar. Sridhar, he said, what about studies? But the point, Sridhar, is that even if there is a study, okay, Professor Gadgil's study is now dated. Let's all accept, like Neelakandan sir said, that it is now dated. I think Rahul Gandhi is in Wayanad and speaking. Let's cut across live to him and we'll get back.
Well, let's see. I mean, to me, this is a national disaster for sure. But let us see what the government says. Look, I don't think this is the place or the time to talk about political issues. People here require help. So I think the time right now is to make sure that all the assistance comes. There are people here who are in shock. They need medical assistance. So I think those are the things we should be discussing. Let me finish. I'm not interested in politics right now. I'm interested in the people of Wayanad. I'm interested in them getting the best possible care, best possible protection, and being looked after for the future.
You are connected to Wayanad. It is very deep to your heart. So how you feel after this disaster? And you are also a part of this system. You are also part of this Wayanad.
I feel how I felt when my father died. That I've seen so many people. I remember what I felt when my father died, and here people have not just lost a father, they've lost the whole family, entire family, brother, sister, mother, father. So I know what I felt, and this is much worse than that. And it's not one person who's feeling it, it's thousands of people who are feeling it. So it's very, very sad. And I think we all owe these people respect, affection, and we should all be standing with them. And I'm very proud that a lot of people are standing with the people of Wayanad. In fact, the whole nation's attention is towards Wayanad, and I'm sure that the whole nation is going to help the people of Wayanad. Thank you very much.
So Sridhar, I was asking you, we just heard what Rahul Gandhi said, and very emotional there, said, I'm reminded of the time when I lost my father, Rajiv Gandhi. He said, entire families have been swept away in this. Sridhar, if I can come to you. Sridhar, my point is that even if Professor Gadgil's report, we take it as dated and it requires updation, these quarries which have been built there, he also speaks about how somebody, a very, very rich businessman, wanted to open resorts and several other things there because it's beautiful. I mean, today it looks like this. For the viewers, it is just flat land, and then it smells of tragedy. It does not just feel, it smells of tragedy. But the point is that there has been major kind of, again, he says, Professor Gadgil says that this was in the presence of a chief minister who was there to attend the event, tourist destination, ecotourism, disturbing the fragile environment. So even if you have more reports, let's say now, what's the point?
Yeah. See, first of all, let me come to this point of, I'll be very quick on that. After the Gadgil report, let's say, I mean, even before the Gadgil report, there have been studies, but after the Gadgil report, and especially after the 2018 floods and 2019 landslides, we have had a few reports come out on landslides itself, nationally and in India. One of those most important reports is an ISRO report, where they're actually saying that 10 out of the 30 most landslide-prone districts is in Kerala. Imagine, the whole of the nation, 10 out of the 30 most landslide-prone districts is in Kerala, which means out of the 14 districts in Kerala, 10 of them are landslide-prone, is what they're saying. 90,000 square kilometer, 90,000.
Right.
There is another interesting, I mean, the same study says that 90,000 square kilometers, not small, of the Western Ghats, which covers Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, and Maharashtra, are landslide prone. Now, this is a 2023 study. So my point is that we have enough of the studies, and I completely agree with you. Now, what are we doing about it? That is where your first question of early warning system comes into play.
Yeah.
Now, landslides perhaps landslides may not be avoidable in that terms. We obviously have to stop all this quarrying, which Gadgil had said, stop quarrying, stop intensive tourism industries, stop roads, massive roads coming up there. No, I'm not talking about the community roads, but massive roads coming up there, big projects coming up there. Obviously, those things cannot be allowed in a ecologically sensitive zone one. But I just want to make one point which is critical. Now, what is an early warning system? Let me make it very simple. The district collector gets a message saying, here is a possible landslide, potential, there's a warning. And then the district collector comes out and releases this warning thing. How do you release it? You probably tell the community that this is happening, but is that enough?
No, it's not.
Let me tell you, if I am sitting there in a family or in the brim of, in a risk-prone area, first of all, I need to know in some form of communication, at least in my phone or whatever, that I have to move out in X number of hours. And then the panchayats and the district administration should make sure that I move out. A vehicle and a place to stay.
That's very crucial. Yeah, that's a very...
All this have to be there in the system.
Yeah, but it is not. But it is not. No, even if, Mr. Neelagandan, it's inadequate. Mr. Neelagandan, even as Amit Shah and Pinarayi and more politicians will talk about you did it, Sridhar makes a very valid point, and I was thinking, suppose I sit there with my children and my husband, you tell me a landslide is going to happen, that's not enough. Okay, landslide is happening. Are you there to help me to evacuate?
Responsible for our life and livelihood or property or anything, even though it is constitutionally they guarantee, but nothing is happening. As Sridhar told, this is not, see, what we are listening in a TV news or WhatsApp, there's a red alert in Wayanad, so and so area. We get a red alert in Wayanad. What does it mean? Where it is? Because it is, as it clearly told, it should be in this area,
absolutely,
local area, and I had filed a case after 2018 floods that there should be a flood online mapping system, because there are things, we have GPS and we have everything. If you open a dam in Kerala by the government, I should know whether water will come to my house, at what level, for what time.
Exactly. And I need to be evacuated. I'm poor. I don't have social agency like all of you. I am privileged. I sit here. I have a phone. They don't have phones. They can't read and write. They only speak Malayalam. I wonder if the district collector also speaks the local language as they understand. There are lots of problems, Mr. Neelagandan. And whether it is Pinarayi or whether it is any other peaceful, it's all very well to say, oh, he did. He's giving graphics, he's giving graphs about how it is all there. But the last man standing, no one cares, Mr. Neelagandan. No one is bothered about those 288 or 300 people who have been swept away in the river. No one really cares.
We are talking about disaster preparedness for quite a long time. What is the preparedness we have?
Zero, I think.
See, such a highly landslide prone area, we don't have any place for the people to go. Where they will go, how they will go, what is the transport, what is the other arrangements, and by what time they should go. It should be very, very specific.
Mr. Neelakandan, you are echoing what I was thinking. Rather than sit there, talk about policy, give out very fancy, kind of reports which no one understands except you people maybe who are in environmental science and policy makers. To the last person, it doesn't matter. Sridhar, let me come to you, and I've completely run out of time. Sridhar, very quickly tell me something. In Kerala, and the joke about it is the kind of government you have, considering it's people's government, it's not any other government. The thing is, there is complete apathy towards the last man standing, the last man or the child who was swept away. Governments will come and governments will go. Don't you think you really require a people's movement so that this thing does not repeat itself yet again? Who cares? Tomorrow they'll forget, there'll be some new news.
Yeah, I mean, your question is almost sounds like a very pessimistic, directed question. It is, the situation is like that. My point here is, see, suppose I am worried about Mepadi, and Mepadi is the region where this is. You have all the information, including Mepadi being mentioned by name as belonging, marked as ecologically sensitive zone 1, where nothing should be done except that people can just live normally. No other large constructions. No, that's a mark. There are other reports also which have talked about this region as a landslide prone region. But what is the government doing? They are bringing at least 2 big projects in that same place. One is a tunnel, 7 kilometers, 6.9 kilometers through the same hills, almost 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers from this place. Okay. 2, and this is going to be dangerous because it's a lot of mining, it's a lot of blasting, etc. that will happen to make the tunnel. 2, they are building a 1,000-acre massive resort, which is going to be touted as the Asia's largest, with a 200-acre airport there itself. Now, is this the right place for all these things? I think there should be a people's movement. We've seen in the hills what happened to a tunnel. People were stuck there for days on end. We've seen what happens to resorts in the hills now. An entire hotel has been swept away in the rains. Is this kind of development? Is this what Pinarayi Vijayan and his government want? Thank you very much, Mr. Neelakandan and Sridhar, for joining us on this broadcast. That was the first story on Wayanad. But you know what? There are many Wayanads. For instance, heavy rains and cloudbursts have created havoc in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. 15 people have been killed. Like I said, what about the other Wayanad? See you on the other side. We'll talk about it.
Pass. We'll put new glasses in the windows and they keep breaking it. This is the 4th time you are playing football throughout the day. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, uncle. I will now conquer the world by playing football. Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt. News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
खेला होगा हर नहले पे दहला होगा दिल बड़ा है स्टेज बड़ा है पूरा भारत साथ खड़ा है साथ खड़ा है गेम बड़ा है dribble like a rap pass setting up the trap kick it hard in the ball chuck there for the ball chuck there for the ball
Over 20 healthcare trailblazers and leaders, 6 engaging sessions, 6 hours of engrossing conversations, top trending healthcare issues. The Healthcare Summit 2024. an initiative by the TV9 network and South First. Streaming on 3rd of August, only on News 9.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
You know, the first part of the big story today was about Wayanad. Almost 300 people dead. Many have gone missing. There is, of course, politics galore which is happening on the bodies of those who are dead now. But, you know, in this country, there are many other Wayanads. That's what we are talking about. The other Wayanads, what about those? Have we started living with these disasters? Have we become immune to them? Are our cities and hills and forests crumbling? Yes, there has been intense climatic changes, but what have we as people and governments done to avert natural disasters? Violated and breached every rule for our benefit. There is Wayanad, and then there are other Wayanads which unfolded in front of our own eyes. Let's begin with Uttarakhand. Heavy rains caused severe flooding along the Kedarnath, Sonprayag, Gaurikund route on Wednesday. The reason? Mandakini River, which runs through Kedarnath and Sonprayag, which overflowed due to intense rainfall leading to flood-like conditions. The river's water reached the Sonprayag parking area and created havoc amongst pilgrims who were there. The situation worsened further after a cloudburst along the Gaurikund Kedarnath route, increasing water levels in Mandakini River even further. Around 200 pilgrims who were on the Char Dham Yatra are trapped due to the cloudburst, and the yatra has been halted by the district magistrate of Rudraprayag. Of course, SDRF personnel are at work to assist people along the banks of Mandakini to ensure their safety, but that's very, very tough. Nature's fury was such that an entire hotel was swept away following a cloudburst in Nautatok, which is a block of Tehri in Uttarakhand. A family of 3 were swept away, killing the parents. While the hunt is on for the little son, the situation in Himachal was no better. An incident of cloudburst was reported in Taltu Khod of Padhar subdivision of Mandi. There were reports of 3 dead, 8 missing. Maybe the numbers have gone up. Over 50 people went missing after a cloudburst in the Samej Khad area of Rampur area in Simla district. In Kulu, a building collapsed and was swept away by the raging Parvati river. The incident occurred earlier today amid severe weather conditions. Like I said right in the beginning, we the people, despite enough warnings, are now being paid back rather harshly by nature. Is there a way out? Let's talk about at least some solution. Professor Yashpal Sundriyal, Department of Geology, HNB Garhwal University, Srinagar, Uttarakhand, is with us, and we shall also be joined by Dr. Sushil Kumar, retired scientist and former head of Geophysics, Wadi Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun in Uttarakhand. Let me first go to, of course, Professor Sundriyal. Professor Sundriyal, you know, we can keep on talking about climate change. We can keep talking about the climate change, particularly in Himalayas, how the oceans are warming up, due to which air-rich moisture reaches the Himalayan. For an ordinary man, this is actually sounds like Chinese. He doesn't understand. I was just discussing, Professor Saab, Wayanad ke upar I was having a discussion. That woman who's lost all her children and her husband and her parents today sits there holding her head in her hands and wailing, because you can give warnings, but do you evacuate people? Do you even tell them, "Arey, there is a warning of a landslide, chalo, let's airlift you"? Professor Sundrial, what do you think is the main reason for year after year we've been seeing in Uttarakhand as well as Himachal, sir? Sir, please unmute, sir. Professor Saab, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
What you have asked, it is $1 million question, because every year Uttarakhand, Himachal and other Himalayan states, they are facing the cloudburst. And what happens now, government also thinks and administration also thinks that these are such incidents which are happening in the entire Himalayan region, but they are not they are not taking care of that. I can tell you one thing. There was a warning that heavy rain will take place and cloud burst may take place in the Uttarakhand. In spite of, they have not asked to pilgrim that they should avoid their Kedarnath Yatra. Why?
Is it, sir, you really brought up a beautiful point. Is it about religion, religious belief, or is it about vote bank? Like, you send me off somewhere to actually die. What kind of astha or dharma is this?
Number two, actually not only the people, even the government allow people to make their shelter, and even the parking they have made on the floodplains. When you will make parking on the floodplains like Mandakini or like Alaknanda or any Himalayan river, which have very high gradient, and due to the high gradient, the flow of energy is very high, then your vehicle will swept away. So at least government should think, and we have enough scientific reports, we have enough research, we have enough recommendations what should be done.
But why doesn't the government do it, sir? Is it about earning money?
No, I don't know. I don't know why they are not taking care of those reports. I will tell you one example. In 2015, Department of Science and Technology assigned a work to 6-7 institute, in which IIT Roorkee, IIT Bombay, HNV Garhwal University, and Indraprastha University, Delhi, then Chandigarh University, and Punjab Engineering College, such type of, and even CBRI, Central Building Research Institute, they all were asked to map NH 58 from Rishikesh to Kedarnath.
Okay.
And the main objective was to identify the active landslide zone and potential landslide zone. And we have done that. The IIT Roorkee published a very good atlas with colorful maps and marked in the maps that in future which are the potential landslide zone.
Okay.
Even then, government has not taken any.
Sir, this Char Dham, sir, I want to know this Char Dham during this season, monsoons, when there is rain. Obviously, the hills have been completely violated due to development, due to all the rules have been broken. I mean, don't you think that the yatra should not be taken at all during this season, sir? And why can't the government put a ban? Ki mat jao bhi.
Yes, when you have the weather forecast, at least you can stop the pilgrims at Haridwar or Rishikesh or some other safer place. But if you will allow the people, such type of incident will happen. What happened in 2013?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, 2013.
There was a forecast that heavy rain will take place in entire Uttarakhand.
And 5,000 people died, sir, if I remember it right.
Actually, 5,700 is the government record.
Achha.
But beside that, the Nepalis and other local people, they also died.
But sir, let me also bring to your, sir, Professor Saab, because of this, in 2013, the floods which happened and more than 5,000 people died, There was a demand, sir, for a better alert system, you know, like a Doppler weather radar. But from then to now, like it's 2013, it's like 11 years now, nothing has happened. No needle has
still
moved.
awaited. It is still awaited. This is very unfortunate. I remember at that time, 2013, Mr. Vijay Boguna was the chief minister of Uttarakhand. And after Kedarnath disaster, he told that we were in the process to purchase the Doppler radar, but due to global tendering, some delay took place, and we will shortly install this Doppler. But till today, I don't think there is any such type of instrument or device has been installed by the government.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah. Professor Sundriyal, I want to also ask you, one aspect is the government's apathy. They've not put, you know, the alert system since 2013. They do not do anything about giving warnings or rather banning the yatra during the monsoon season just to see that people are safe. The other is corruption, the nexus between builders and the government. It cannot happen without the government. We know it, sir. So the thing is that how much of that, you know, andhadhund building, resorts, ye kar diya, wo kar diya, how much of that has really made this area so vulnerable, Professor Sir?
Yes. All the hill slopes, they have converted into the concrete slopes, and where the concrete is required to stabilize the landslide, to stabilize slope, there is nothing, no budget is there to stabilize the slopes so that the landslide may be protected. But on the name of the Char Dham project, I will tell you one example. Today I received one call from my one friend who is Hemant Dhyani, and he told me that under RTI, he got an information from the forest department that in the Bhagirathi sensitive zone, at least 3,600 Devdar and pine tree will fell down for the widening of the roads. Now you can see that for the Gangotri, for the Yamunotri, what types of road you are going to construct. And the second thing, I always tell this on each and every platform that government has budget to construct the road, government has having budget for the widening of the road, but government don't have any budget to stabilize the hill slopes.
Yeah, right. So, sir, tell me something, sir. I mean, I've completely run out of time, but I want you to tell me lastly, these issues are not really election issues, are they? It doesn't matter. Sir, I remember the Chipko movement, sir, you know, which is really revolutionary. Sundarlal Bahuguna, I mean, we all remember Chipko movement where we tried to, where you hugged the tree and did not let the tree be felled. Don't you think it's time that there should be a people's movement in Uttarakhand and also Himachal to say, please do not violate our hills, go back?
Without people movement, I think government will not be very serious about all this, what is happening, not only during monsoon, but sometimes it happens when you are blasting, when you are making the tunnel. What happened in the Silkara tunnel?
Yeah.
That was not due to the monsoon. That was due to the poor quality of the construction.
Right. And it is such a sad state of affairs, but I've completely run out of time. My thanks are due, Professor Sundriyal, for you to have joined us in this broadcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, one Wayanad, many Wayanads. Unless you and I wake up, nothing really is going to happen. Finally, as promised, I leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Take a look. Thank you for watching.
Over 20 healthcare trailblazers and leaders. 6 engaging sessions. 6 hours of engrossing conversations. Top trending healthcare issues. The Healthcare Summit 2024, an initiative by the TV9 Network and South First. Streaming on 3rd of August, only on News 9.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
This is News 9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News 9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Fast.
My God, isn't she your daughter?
Yes.
She's playing football. This is boys' game. Make her study. If she doesn't get a good job, she will get a good match. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, auntie. My daughter will win the world by playing football.
Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.